Good morning. Okay, today's the day I'm going to get some honey out of these hives and work on these other hives a little bit. Try to get them ready for winter. Put some feeders in. See if I can get any honey out of some of the frames or anything like that. So keep watching. It's September 4th and I'm going to here to do some honey harvest. But I wanted to show you some of this. Noticed a yellow jacket just went in there, but if you notice, some of the bees coming in have a lot of pollen on their sacs. So they're obviously still collecting pollen. See, they're really coming in and out. These are those new hives that just, for some reason, they're not doing too well out here. I don't know if they're having problems fighting off other things. Take any honey out of this one. I am, however, going to do an inspection on it. All the frames in here are nice and full. Try not to stand in front of the entrance. They don't seem to care for that. Now, this is a frame out of the brood box. I don't see any larvae. But a lot of good capped honey. They may be done laying larvae for the year already. They may be just into winter mode. This hive didn't produce like I had hoped it would. Tell you what, it weighs about 50 pounds. Down into the bottom box now. Really don't see anything out of the ordinary myself. Don't really want to break it down any further. Put her back together. This box weighs. I think I'm gonna leave the queen excluder out for the winter. We'll just put it on the top. Maybe that way I'll do a winter prep. I'll put a winter box on top and leave the 3 brood chambers for spring. Maybe maybe if I wrap it up good, they'll make it through the winter. Put my good luck skull on. I think I'm going to give them a little bit of feed, sugar water with essential oils. Put that first hive didn't have a lot of honey in the honey super, so I decided not to harvest any honey. I decided to move some things around and let's try to make that colony make it through the winter. So hopefully next year I won't have to spend $150 on a new colony, and they'll have a real good healthy start to the year. So I did decide to feed them. I'm on to the second hive now, and I know I'm not going to get any honey out of this one, but I want to change a couple things in order to help them make it through the winter, and I will also start their feeding. Okay, I noticed not a lot of honeybees coming in and out, and I noticed some yellow jackets in both hives. I noticed some bald-faced hornets in the other hive. So I guess I don't know how healthy this hive is. It's struggled all summer long, so we'll just see how it goes. Now, if you remember on this one, I took out the queen excluder, and I put it on top about a month ago. Just because they're not doing too well as a hive, as a good healthy colony. I don't know the total reasons. Some of it I believe is because of these black plastic frames. They just don't seem to like them, so I'm going to replace some of these today with regular frames, regular wooden frames. They've never done well with this black plastic, so I'm going to try to get as many of them out as I can. I won't take them with me. I'll leave them here for the bees to hopefully they'll get their honey off of in the bottom. Now this hive I started the same day I started the other ones, but I had these super duper black plastic frames that I thought would be great, man. But they're not doing their trick. As you can see, the bees are right here to here. They're not on the black plastic frames at all. Why? I don't know. So we're gonna put some regular wooden frames back in, and we're gonna start feeding this hive, and I hope that they will do better. I see caps, comb, I see larvae. I see little bee larvae down in there. So there's obviously a queen in here somewhere. The working theory from a couple of the bee guys I've talked to is that they lost their queen. They spent their summer season growing a new queen. I don't know. There's been a lot of different ideas and thoughts as to what it could be. I hope that yeah, see, there's library there too, so I hope that's it, and that I can get them built up enough to make it through the winter season. They're starting to get a little bit agitated. Let's give them a little smoke, settle them down a little bit. One of the theories is that I had a metal queen excluder, and they didn't like that. So I bought a plastic one, and then put the honey super between the two brood boxes in the hopes that it would allow them to crawl over it and start building. But it really hasn't held true yet. There's larvae, so they've gotten a new queen, although I haven't seen her. But you don't get larvae without queens, so hopefully the month of September and October will be relatively cool, or warm enough that there's still a lot of pollen out here. As for nectar flow, I don't know. But they're returning to their hives with, you know, plenty of nectar, plenty of pollen. So we're going to only had enough deep frames. Still short one. Well, we're going to have to put one of these back, so this had the most activity on it. We'll put this one back. I'm going to have to... Okay, this is a bottom board, and you see a couple yellow jackets there. All the orange pellets there is pollen, and it looks like some pink flowers from some of the other flowers, wildflowers here. And I see a few ants, but I don't see any hive beetles. I had seen no sign of the varroa mites. I'm gonna put that right there. Let them clean it out and sort it out. Well, hopefully come back in a couple weeks, maybe a month, and we'll wrap it up, and I'll put that winter box on with the insulation and the sugar blocks, and we'll see how that goes. And like I said, I'm just going to leave this here. I'm going to let the bees clean it off. There's nothing on these. Okay, here's my hive at my house. It's the original hive. It's what started this this adventure. So anyways, we're going to set this hive up and try to get some honey out of it. This is the hive that I do expect to have honey out of, hopefully about 4 gallons worth. Got a lot of drawed comb in this big box here, and you can see some honey. This was a box I just put on about 3 weeks ago. Same time I worked on that other hive. As you can see, these bees have really went to town building comb and making their honey for the winter. So I didn't really expect to get a whole lot of honey out of this top box. I had high hopes, but you know, reality. You know, they're storing honey, but nothing's capped. Nothing's capped yet. So we're going to probably put this box on here on top of the clean excluder for the winter. This box weighs about 50 pounds and it's full of capped honey. Not going to break this hive down, but I want to show you that's what it should look like. Oh, we're going to put this back on. I'm going to put this on. Try to return that hive to some normalcy while I harvest these frames. And part of the trick is being quick, not being herky-jerky, which means you want to go nice and easy, but with haste. So we're just going to start here. Hopefully break one of these apart. Once we get one apart, it won't be as long. Alright, so we're just going to gently break them off. We're going to put them down in here. Everybody's a little bit upset. Upset. Right there, they're checking their hive out. They're doing a thing called bearding. As you can see, I put the feed on for the winter. I got the honey up to the house, and I got the extractor set up. This is a frame honeycomb rake. It breaks the caps off the cells, and we stick it in the spinner, and we get our honey. So keep watching. I'm movie star. Here's the centrifugal spinner, and you just turn this handle and put the frames right in there, and it spins the honey right on out. They're okay. They're pretty docile. They can get a little bit grouchy every now and then, but all you do is take and rake this. You're raking the cap right off the honey cell. Surprisingly, the bees aren't attacking, you know. It holds 2 frames. If you gentle with the bees, generally they're gentle with you. Same thing, you want to rake the cap off the honey. Once you spin it around for a few minutes, you take it out, look at it, and see how many combs you missed. And if you look, you can see all the ones that are raked off are empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around now and spin it around. Yeah. Gotta turn it over one more time, spin it out.
How much honey comes out of just 2 frames?
What
Would you say?
I don't know. There's a solid 2 quarts in there probably.
So maybe 1 quart per frame?
Yeah. So basically you got to do this 4 times. One time for twice for each side. Just to get it good and clean and make sure you get all your honey out of it. And I really try to get most of the honey, but I don't get too crazy because I want to return these frames back down to the hive and let the bees clean it off and let them it'll help them survive the winter. Alright, here we go, nothing but wax left, a little bit of honey residue, but you know, probably never going to get all that unless you heated it, but that's a good empty frame. We'll stick it right back here for now, so that way it's out of our way, and if any bees come back up, they'll hopefully spend time over there. A little bit of honey left there and there. Maybe a little bit up there, but I think it's, you know, 90% clean. You know, each one of these little cells is a solid 1/2 inch to 5/8 deep. So, really a lot of honey there. To pour through 2 screens, a coarse screen and a fine screen, and that'll filter out any of the bee parts or bees that didn't that got caught up in the process. Take it out of the bucket and put it through 2 strainers into this other bucket. Why it's really good to do this on a warm, hot day, so it'll flow through the grates easier and flow out. Take the rake and filter away some of the wax. The big chunks of wax that get caught here, so the honey will go out. Hoping to get this done before I lose my son. Shot of liquid gold right here. Whole food, organic, antibiotic. Last 10,000 years. Good for burns, good for cuts, good for anything that ails you. You're scraping the wax away from the honey. Because when you use that rake, you use that comb rake to break the comb, you get a lot of wax, a lot of cases. So the screen filters them out. And all I'm doing at the moment is trying to get the wax away from the screen so the honey will flow better. What I'm doing is going to put it into this 2-quart jar I got here, and I'll figure out how to separate it later. I think you can do it on the oven with a little bit of double boiler, a little heat, filter the rest of the honey out, and then I'll be left with a little bit of beeswax. You can see the chunks of honey coming out, or the chunks of wax coming out of there. The screen is 2 pieces. There's a coarse screen and then there's a fine screen underneath. I've already got that much honey in there. It's probably 3.5, maybe 4 gallons already. So I'm hoping to hit the 5-gallon mark out of this one hive. Big chunk of wax just came out there. It's not as warm today as I'd like it to be. I don't like hot weather, but I like it to be 90 degrees when I do this honey, but it's been a cool summer here in Michigan.
Tomorrow's supposed to be only 68.
Yeah, it's the last warm day. It's supposed to be 84 today, and it's going to be the last warm day of the year. So, kind of taking advantage of it. I turn that fan on, blows the bees away. A legitimate 6 gallons of honey. The bucket's full. One little bee still in there. And there's a 2-quart jar of wax honey, another quart of wax honey, and that one's primarily honey. There's just the fine screen got plugged up. So there it is. Now we just got to bottle it up.